A very good morning to all the distinguished dignitaries, respected faculty members, dear participants and students. Knowledge is the light that removes the darkness of ignorance, and today together learn to celebrate that light. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the one-day international conference on emerging trends in commerce, management, accountancy and artificial intelligence, organized by the CMA department in association with IPAC of Saraswat Education Society, Srivara Kapuru College of Commerce and Management Studies. This conference brings together brilliant minds, experienced academicians and enthusiastic learners on one platform to explore new ideas, share insights and discuss the future directions of commerce and technology. We now begin this auspicious occasion by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. May I request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly come forward for the lighting of the lamp. Thank you for marking the auspicious beginning of this conference. To formally begin this ceremony, I now invite our distinguished guest to the dais. I request our principal, Professor Santosh Bhatkar sir, to kindly escort our chief guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Ketan Viraj sir, and our presiding officer for today, Sri Amuk Prabhu Parikar sir, graduate of Saraswat Education Society, to the dais. I also request our Vice Principal, Mrs. Sruti Bodkar ma'am, IPAC Coordinator, Dr. Henry D'Souza, Head of CMA Department, Mr. Satyajit Hilde, and the convener of the conference, Dr. Kavi Shirokar, to kindly take their seats on the dais. Thank you. Let us welcome them with a round of applause. We are privileged to have with us a distinguished personality who continues to contribute significantly to the field of education and society. I now request Head of CMA Department of Mr. Satyajit Hilde to introduce our presiding officer, Shri Amuk Prabhu Parikar.
Good morning to one and all present over here. It's my great privilege to introduce to you our esteemed guest of honor for the formal inaugural function of one-day international conference on emerging trends in commerce, management, accountancy and artificial intelligence. Sri Amuk Prabhu Parikar, our esteemed guest of honor, has strengthened his leadership and managerial acumen by completing an executive MBA course from the prestigious Goa Institute of Management, along with a bachelor's degree in electronics and telecommunication engineering. He began his professional journey with Tata Consultancy Services Limited, where he worked for 2 years in embedded software development program, gaining valuable industry experience and technical expertise. With a strong urge and drive to become a successful entrepreneur, he later transitioned himself into the world of business where he continued to make a meaningful impact. Beyond his professional journey, he has also made a significant contribution to the field of education and administration. He served as a manager at Vasanta Vidyalaya for 3 years. Later, he served as a manager at Saraswati Vidyalaya for 2.5 years, showcasing exceptional leadership and dedication to institutional development. Presently, Amuk sir is serving as a treasurer of Saraswat Education Society since 2025-26. And education truly makes him an inspiring personality. Please join me in warmly welcoming our guest of honor for this inaugural function, Shri Amuk Prabhu Parikar.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Shri Amuk Prabhu Parikar, sir, to deliver the welcome address and share his thoughts on this significant occasion.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all. Respected dignitaries of the day, keynote speaker, Dr. Ketan Meeraji, our principal, Professor Santosh Patkar, Vice Principal, Associate Professor Mrs. Shruti Bolkar, our IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Henry D'Souza, HOD Commerce Management Accountancy, Sri Satyajit Hilde sir, our ever enthusiastic convener for the function, motivated and enthusiastic, Dr. Kavi Shirokar, co-convener Dr. Prema Tamankar. On behalf of the management of Saraswat Education Society and our college team, I extend my warm welcome to our keynote speaker, Dr. Ketan Meeraji, and all the faculty, students, participants who are going to participate in this one-day international conference on emerging trends in commerce, management, accountancy, and artificial intelligence. I would like to congratulate our college team, Apollo College faculty team for organizing this event, and I am delighted to be present for the inaugural function. As I learned from Dr. Kavi, we have been all 131 papers to be presented. It is amazing.
I think this is happening first time in this college. Congratulations. So that's an achievement, a new benchmark for our college. So 131 papers being presented, 66 are online and 65 are offline. Participants spanning across 10 states of the country and participants from 2 foreign countries, Afghanistan and Switzerland. Congratulations to the team. I would say this is an excellent response to the conference. And on behalf of the management, I would like to thank the participants and the heads of different colleges for encouraging participation for this conference. Such conferences which deliberate on trending topics, encourage sharing of ideas and experiences are very imperative. They are very important in the education journey of a student as well as a faculty. Why they are very important? Because they help in converting the theoretical knowledge that we learn in the classroom. It's theory that we learn in the classroom. So such conferences where the speakers present their papers, present their ideas, present their experiences, help the students, faculty to grow in their knowledge and convert this theoretical knowledge into practical and skill-oriented knowledge. Hence, I would urge our team to motivate maximum number of our students to actually attend this conference. I won't take more time. Make the most of this opportunity to learn and grow. Wishing you all a productive and successful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for setting the thoughtful context for today's conference. I now request our principal, Professor Santosh Patkar, sir, to address the gathering and share his valuable thoughts with us.
Chief guest of today's function, Professor Ketan Veera, Treasurer of the Society, Sri Amuk Prabhu Parikar, Ms. Smriti Borkar, the Vice Principal of our college, Dr. Kavi Shivarkar, the convener of the seminar, Mr. Satyajit Devi, the HOD of the Commerce and Management Department, Dr. Henry D'Souza, Accuracy Coordinator, distinguished delegates from across the India and abroad, esteemed faculty members and dear friends. I am very happy that Commerce Management and Accountancy Department, in collaboration with the IPSC, has taken initiative in organizing the one-day international seminar on the theme Emerging Trends in Commerce Management, Accountancy and Artificial Intelligence. This seminar has been conducted in hybrid mode, which has received an overwhelming response. The organizers have received more than 130 papers, research papers from different parts of the world. This clearly reflects that hybrid platforms have made academic participation more inclusive and accessible, especially for those who may find it difficult to travel. Normally, we see in Goa for the seminars, national seminar, international seminars, which are conducted in offline mode, the delegate participation is very less or low. And in fact, one of the challenges in the seminars, I always say in the staff meeting instead, the audience is the greater challenge because organization is easy, but the audience for the delegates coming from the different parts of the country or different colleges, it becomes difficult. But hybrid, but that Kabir has suggested regarding this online on the mode or the hybrid mode, that is, I think we got a good response. The field of the commerce has undergone a significant transformation in the recent years. With the rapid growth of digital technology and internet, traditional business models are evolving. The rise of e-commerce, online marketplaces, and digital payment system has revolutionized the way business is conducted. Today, the business are no longer confined by geographical boundaries, and globalization has opened new avenues for growth. Data analytics, is the further enabling the organization to understand the consumer behavior and make informed decisions. The banking and financial sector, particularly after the economic reforms of 1991, have witnessed a tremendous progress. Commerce continues to play a vital role in generating the employment across the manufacturing, service, and the banking and financial institutions. Turning to the management, modern organizations are increasingly embracing innovative and flexible practices. Traditional hierarchical structures are gradually giving the way to more collaborative and adaptive approaches. Today's managers are expected to be visionary leaders who can navigate the change, foster creativity, and inspire their teams. Additionally, there is a growing emphasis on sustainability and corporate social responsibility, where organizations focus not only on profit but also on ethical practices, environmental protection, and social well-being. The field of accountancy is also experiencing the rapid transformations due to the technological advancement. The adoption of cloud-based accounting system and advanced software has enhanced the efficiency and accuracy in financial management. Automation is reducing the routine manual tasks, allowing the professionals to focus more on analysis and strategic decision making. Real-time reporting, transparency, and adherence to the global standards are becoming increasingly important. One of the most transformative forces impacting all these fields is artificial intelligence. AI is revolutionizing business operations by enabling the analysis of large volumes of data, identifying the patterns, and supporting the better decision making. In commerce, AI enhances the customer insights and marketing strategies. In management, it improves the planning, operational efficiency. In accountancy, it aids in fraud detection, auditing, and financial forecasting. However, this advancement also brings challenges such as data privacy, cyber security, and ethical concerns. Moreover, the rise of automations and AI is reshaping the job market, making it essential for individuals to continuously upgrade their skills and knowledge. In this context, educational and research institutions have a crucial role to play in preparing the students for this dynamic environment. Emphasis must be placed on interdisciplinary learning, digital literacy, and innovations to equip the future professionals for emerging challenges. In conclusion, the integration of the commerce, management, accountancy, and artificial intelligence is shaping the future of the global economy. By embracing the technological advancements while upholding the ethical values, we can build a more efficient, transparent, and sustainable business ecosystem. Workshops or seminars serve as an important platform for academicians to express their views, exchange ideas, and deliberate on innovative concepts and the latest development in their respective fields. They also provide valuable opportunities for faculty members to engage in research, prepare scholarly papers, and present the work before the wider audience. I would like to congratulate Dr. Kavi Shirodkar and the entire team for taking the initiative to organize this important seminar and for providing a platform for meaningful academic exchange. I also extend my appreciation to all the authors for their dedicated efforts in preparing the research papers. I encourage the young faculty members to actively engage in research and strive to publish in a reputed journal. I wish the seminar a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is always a matter of pride to have with us individuals who have made remarkable contributions in their respective fields. I now invite our Vice Principal, Mrs. Shruti Bolkar ma'am, to introduce our esteemed Chief Guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Ketan Vilas.
Good morning, everyone. It's indeed a privilege and an honor to introduce our esteemed keynote speaker, Dr. Ketan Veera. Dr. Veera currently serves as the Director and Professor at Pillai HSC Institute of Management Studies and Research. residing life in Maharashtra. With a distinguished academic and administrative career, he has held several key leadership roles, including Director, Dean, Head of Department, and Research Center Chairperson. He possesses an impressive academic background, holding Master's degree in Commerce Management and Economics, along with a PhD in Commerce and Management Economics. His commitment to research and academic excellence is further reflected in his role as a recognized PhD guide at the University of Mumbai, where he mentors and guides research scholars. Dr. Bira has made significant contributions to academia through his numerous research publications, articles, and book chapters. He is also a noted author with books such as Integration of Financial Economics and Economics, Behavioral Finance, Behavioral Economics, and Medical Tourism and Wellness in India to his credit. His expertise extends beyond academia into industry with over 25 years of experience in retail, 20 years in manufacturing, and 12 years in real estate. His rich blend of academic insight and industry exposure adds immense value to his perspectives. He has actively participated in national and international conferences where he has presented research papers and has been recognized with several best paper awards. Additionally, he has contributed significantly to institutional quality enhancement as a coordinator for NAC, NBA, and ISO accreditations. Dr. Bira is also a certified and accredited NLP trainer, and his work with NGOs and professional associations reflects his dedication towards holistic development and society contribution. His excellence has been acknowledged through numerous accolades, including awards for Best Academician and Best Mentor. Adding to his distinguished profile, he was recently appointed by the Ministry of Textiles, Government of India, as an external member of the Technical Evaluation Committee for Skill Development. With such vast experience, knowledge, and insight, we are truly privileged to have him with us today. On behalf of Saraswat Education Society, Sridhar Kapila College of Commerce and Management Studies, I extend a very warm welcome to Dr. Ketan Bira, and we wishing all of you a wonderful time of learning and interaction.
Thank you, ma'am. As a gesture of our gratitude and regard, we now proceed with the ceremonial welcome of our dignitaries on the dais. I request Sri Amok Prabhu Parikar sir, Treasurer of Saraswat Education Society, to present a potted plant to our Chief Guest, Dr. Ketan Bira sir. I also invite Neha and Suchi to present flowers to our dignitaries on the dais. Treasurer of Saraswat Education Society, Sri Amok Prabhu Parikar. Our Principal, Professor Santosh Parikar. Vice Principal, Mrs. Smriti Bodkar. Convener of the conference, Dr. Kabir Shirokar. Head of CMA Department, Shri Satyajit Hirve. ICT Coordinator, Dr. Henry D'Souza. Thank you. Every conference has a purpose that guides its vision and discussions. To provide us with an insight into the theme and objective of this conference, I invite the convener of this conference, Dr. Kabir Shirokar, to address the gathering.
Very good morning to everyone present here. First of all, I respectfully greet our presiding officer, Shri Amok Parikar sir, Treasurer of the Saraswat Education Society. We are truly honored by your presence, sir. Okay, I also greet our keynote speaker, Dr. Ketan Bira sir, Director and Professor of Zee Wellness Institute, and our online wellness session keynote speaker, Dr. Fahad sir. We are glad to have you both with us, sir. I greet our principal, Professor Santosh Patkar sir, Vice Principal Smruti ma'am, Shri Satyajit Kirve sir, IPC Coordinator Henry D'Souza sir, and co-convener Prerna ma'am, and all the faculty members, research scholars and students, those present in the hall and those joining us online. I am Dr. Kavish Shirokar, convener. Let me take a few minutes to introduce this conference to all of you. About the conference, our college last had an international conference in the year 2016. Okay, today after 10 years, we are back organizing with a stronger feedback. After 10 years of the down the line, we are organizing with a stronger response from all the researchers. Today in this room, we have professors, associate professors, assistant professors, research scholars and students, all sitting together, all connected by one thing, that is the research. And this academic association and this kind of a network and socialization research cannot grow without the connectivity, without the socialization. That's why my request to everyone, to every student and faculty members here, please use today's conference to grow your network, talk to the participants around you, exchange the contacts and follow up the research that interests you. The network you build today will help you tomorrow and in your research, in your career and in your growth as an academician. That is the real objective of the conference. Not just one of the presentations, but a lifetime connection you will build over here. Therefore, I thank each one of you for being a part of this conference. I hope today is a useful and inspiring day for everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. May I now request our dignitaries to release the conference proceedings, a testament to the hard work and dedication of researchers, experts, and our team. Thank you to all the dignitaries. The keynote address is a vital part of any conference as it sets the intellectual direction for the sessions that follow. It is now my privilege to invite our chief guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Ketan Virasar, to deliver the keynote address.
Parikarji, Principal, Professor Santosh Patkar, Vice Principal, HODs, Convener, Co-Convener, IPAC Coordinator, dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, participants, delegates, paper presenters, technical chairperson, and each and every party. As rightly mentioned by ma'am, that the keynote address sets the tone for the conference. Because based on what exactly the deliberations are going to be, it may not be possible for each and everyone to listen to every presentation or to to every presentation or read every paper, and hence it's very important to concise what are going to be the deliberations or likely deliberations in the conference need to be focused on. So we are in the world of data. The topic which I am going to talk about is data to decisions, redefining commerce management accountancy. We are in the world where we are surrounded by data. Every second, enormous data is created. But data has no value if it does not have insight. So very clearly, data with insight matters. At the same time, insight has no value if you cannot take decisions. So data with insights, with decisions, and ultimately data with insight, with decision-making capability leads to a valuable data. So we all are aware of it that decision-making over the years has shifted. How it has evolved over the years, we need to understand. There was a time where people used to take decisions based on their experience, what we call it as a hunch or a gut. And it worked, believe it or not. Moreover, if you look at the very definition of intelligence, it talks about learning from experience. And that is exactly what artificial intelligence is doing by collecting experiences and creating algorithms to see to it that the decision is taken rightfully. However, over the years, managers used to take decisions based on their experience, which worked. Even those who are into commerce management, they are very well aware of it that a lot of strategic tools used by companies, the numerical values were not assigned scientifically, but they were also biased with the experience of the people taking decision, and it worked. Gradually, with 1970s, 80s, and eventually when we saw the boom in information technology and taking it peak in 1990s, post-liberalization and privatization, we observed that information became the core to decision making. So people used MIS, ERPs, right, which help people to take a right decision, share data to a right people rather than sharing the entire data, which also worked for years. Now we come to the time where artificial intelligence has become a main reason for taking decision. What makes it different is more of a prediction. Now why it is important, as we move further, I will highlight it to you. But I would like to start here with one example of one consultancy which was taken by one of the management college in Mumbai. It was one of the reputed private bank, one of the leading private bank, and it was that they were losing customers. There were a lot of account closures, there were a lot of premature FD withdrawals, and it was a concern for that bank. And you'll be surprised by using big data, that company, that institute, through using AI and big data, they were very clear and they told you are going to end up in losing so many customers in 3 years. And precautionary measures were taken. Eventually it was observed that not only the closure of accounts and closure of financial products was stopped, but they were even able to recover the customers. So this is the power of artificial intelligence. We are going to look at both the sides of artificial intelligence, whether artificial intelligence really contributes to the productivity or it does not contribute to the productivity. So currently many of you must have heard the PricewaterhouseCoopers, one of the leading consultancy big fours, they came up with a report which has a mixed response, whether really AI contributes to the productivity or it does not contribute to the productivity. So the answer is yes and no. We are yet to figure out, and I think this is the right platform for us to discuss it, whether AI will lead to creating more productivity or not. So what happens is, when you see that how you have moved from the era of experience to information to artificial intelligence, we have to keep it in mind that it is not replacing managers, but it is basically making managers to think differently with AI. So today's managers, because many of our students are going to be in industry, they need to think differently than what was being taught earlier. It is more predictive in nature, it is more prescriptive in nature, and it is more autonomous in nature. So you have to keep it in mind that AI is going to contribute, not replacing human being, but how human beings think and take decisions. So very clearly what has happened over the years, we have seen a big explosion of data. So very clearly what comes to someone's mind immediately is big data. You'll be surprised, one phone call which we make generates enormous data. 50 direct points of data. Who the caller is, who's the receiver, which is the tower of connection, whether the phone is prepaid or postpaid, which service it is. So 50 data points are collected directly. Apart from it, if you look at it, the unstructured data is used. Semi-structured data is used. So you can imagine one phone call can lead to creating so much of one phone call. And imagine the number of phone calls made by an individual multiplied by the number of people having a mobile phone and making a phone calls. And this everything gets collected. So very clearly, when we talk about our entire artificial intelligence, we have to keep it in mind that we are in the world of big data. Now what is big data? Anything to be considered as a big data needs to have these 5 Ds. It should be voluminous. It should be quickly processable, that is velocity. It has to be of a variety of data. As I did mention, it is to be structured, semi-structured and unstructured. For example, we see a structured data in terms of files, Excel files and everything. There is a textual data, there is pictorial data, and hence it needs to be classified into the variety of data. Then comes veracity. Veracity is basically the trust and the reliability of the data, which is very important. Today's data is highly trustworthy. Now, many a time when I was addressing at one more conference, I got a question, do you mean to say that people are not trustworthy? It's not so. But please try to understand, we do not take decisions rationally. We take decisions also with the help of emotion. So very clearly, one of the podcasts I was listening to, where I could relate it so well, there is something what we call it as an Abilene paradox. Now, Abilene paradox is a situation where individuals know that a particular decision is wrong, and everyone who is involved in decision making is aware of it that the decision is wrong. But then too also they take decision primarily because they want to avoid conflicts, because they don't want it to lead to a confrontation. But when it comes to machine, it lacks all these emotional aspects, and hence many a time if you look at it, human beings are not very much rational, but they are normal. We do take decisions with the several things around us. Okay? So the most important thing, the last key is value. The data which is generated is valuable. Every data which is generated will result into some commercial output. Now imagine if someone has to ask how it is having a commercial value. It's a very simple logic. I can today reach the targeted audience most specifically by understanding their need, which reduces my value, reduces my cost, but increases my value. So this is how the 5 V's, which is volume, velocity, variety, velocity and value, together makes a big data. Now when we talk about intelligence, your data should get converted into an intelligent decision. So there are 3 things which you should understand. That what type of intelligence will this entire artificial intelligence be? First, which I have been emphasizing again and again, it's a predictive intelligence. Now, when you get into a debate or when you listen to any of the debate on artificial intelligence, one of the very common things which comes up, that AI does not contribute to the GDP more than 0.7%. It's a very negligible contribution considering the hype which artificial intelligence has taken. But this is a direct calculation. If you take indirect calculation in terms of weather forecasting, it can have an impact on agriculture. As Principal Sir rightly mentioned, if you take in terms of fraud detection, it will help you to very clearly avoid wrong landing. It will definitely raise a red flag that this is the area where you have to focus on. So one thing is very clear, that your artificial intelligence as a predictive tool helps us in so many ways which indirectly contributes to the GDP. Another most important thing which I personally feel today artificial intelligence should look into is how to reduce the ecological imbalance. So when I was listening to Geeta Bobinandan, a former IIM person, Indian origin, she said we are talking about tariffs. It's a concern. And believe it or not, this tariff of Trump, which are now being waived off, does not affect India's GDP more than 1%. But if you control the environmental degradation, right? You can increase India's GDP by 5%. And by using artificial intelligence towards sustainability, we can very clearly focus on these areas where most of the companies today are talking about the ESG ranking. In the light of ESG ranking, definitely you have to understand that we need more focus on environment rather than only looking at it from the commercial perspective. So very clearly, one is very clearly predictive. Now coming to your business area, it helps you to predict demand, it helps you to identify credit risk. It is also perspective in nature. Now this is very commonly used, and how it is different from information era to artificial intelligence era. Let us take a very unique example of aviation sector. Believe it or not, one of the reasons why aviation companies have started making huge profits is because of their dynamic pricing become more rational and more productive. So it was there earlier also, we all are aware of it, the pricing was dynamic, it depends on the availability of the seats, it also used to depend on the demand, it also used to depend on the time or the number of days which are left for the flight to be very clearly the date of journey of the flight. One thing which was when the artificial intelligence was integrated in the system, it was observed that they were able to increase their profit. The dynamic pricing of aviation company resulted into two benefits. Entire seats getting occupied at a better price, resulting into better profits. So very clearly you may not directly see the benefit of artificial intelligence into the contribution of the country's GDP, but if you look at it from the broader perspective that how it helps to increase the efficiency of the businesses. So this is again a prescriptive nature. Another important thing is we all are aware of it, inventory optimization. Here I would like to give you an example of both the e-commerce and the brick and mortar model of retail. So if you go to Walmarts across the world, their inventory management was quite different earlier. It was using an information system. There was a vendor managed inventory where I was linked to my vendor could see the stock and immediately it used to replenish or refill. Now it's not the case. It is a real time availability of data. So there is one company known as the Boza Nova company which has robotics, and this robotics they move around the entire retail store and they keep on capturing data. By capturing this data, they filter the data and they send it to the vendor in the real time. So at any given point of time, the vendor is able to identify the inventory in the retail stores of Walmart. It was there earlier also, but now what is the big difference? At a real time. At the same time, this Boza Nova robotics also capture a lot of data with regards to the consumer behavior, how the shelf movements are, whether the product needs to be placed at a particular position, and many other benefits. Now we talk about an autonomous intelligence. Now this is very interesting. One thing which sir covered, the fraud detection. I don't know how many of you are aware of it, but when I was with one of the GM of RBI, so I did ask him, okay, sir, do you use artificial intelligence? Well, yes, sir, it's been quite a long time. And I was really surprised when he said that we use something known as the MuleHunter.in. This is RBI's artificial intelligence tool, which is known as the MuleHunter.in. Now, what does it do? Any abnormal movement which is observed in banks, too much of cash deposits regularly, too much of cash withdrawals from the bank, having multiple bank accounts and depositing small amount, maybe a money laundering or something like that, is immediately detected. So imagine this is an autonomous intelligence. No one is interfering, but data is collected on its own and it helps you to track what is abnormal or what is not right. Same thing goes with income tax department. There are 10 parameters which income tax department has set on artificial intelligence which makes them very easy to identify exactly based on the transaction, based on the purchase of assets, whether it is a regular purchase or it has some doubtful purchases. So this is where your autonomous intelligence comes into picture. Now as I spoke about that, I am going to talk about redefining commerce, management and accountancy. I will touch into each of the fields so we can understand in respective areas that how AI is impacting and how AI can lead to productivity. Let us first look at hyper-personalized marketing. So I share my own experience when I used to buy a customized product. They used to give me, they were aware of my name, they were aware about it, and used to. Today, not only so, they are very particular about my taste also. So very clearly, and not only so, going ahead, they are also aware of how my taste is changing. So this is the power of AI, where hyper-personalized systems are created in marketing. When we come to your commerce, another thing where we can talk about is the smart supply chains. So I already spoke about inventory optimization. So one of my students was doing a research and he spoke about logistics. So I called up one of my exporters. He is an exporter who sells Haldiram product all across the world. He has a global agency with him. And I told him, yeah, one of my students wants to do a entire research work on logistics company. And I told him this is his research problem and everything. And very interesting thing which came up is that this is not how it is. Today logistics is no more a concern for exporting. But cost reduction has become a most important. Because the number of people, those who have entered into the field of logistics has increased quadruple. Much more post-COVID especially. And today, we exporters don't have any problem in identifying logistic partner. Our concern is who can give us the best quotation in terms of time, cost and accuracy. So then he told me that few of the logistic companies have integrated AI into their system. And they are doing exceptionally good job. So this is where we are looking at how your artificial intelligence is also redefining the supply chains. So another example when we talk about we do buy on a digital platforms. So the other day I had ordered a book, Think Like an Economist. So I generally don't buy the paperback, I generally buy the original copy. It took 15 days. But I got original copy from UK. So very clearly, this is how your e-commerce is working today. Procurement, and believe it, this just happened 2 days back in midst of the situation where the world is going through a lot of turmoil and war-like situation. But your orders are fulfilled. Not on time, before time. So this is the power of AI. Fintech revolution, we all are aware of it, right? Now, let us get into a fintech because I will share again one more interesting experience about a fintech. One of my colleagues, she is doing a PhD on peer-to-peer lending. Now, peer-to-peer is a platform where if I have some money, I can very clearly give it to the platform on interest, and someone wants to borrow, will borrow it from the. I have a choice. How do I have a choice? I have a choice that I can select the person to whom I want to lend. No doubt, there will be charges which will be involved by this peer-to-peer platform. So what they do is, they will give me the names of the borrowers with their CIBIL score, right? With their rate of interest which they are ready to borrow it from. So very clearly, it's a common sense with low CIBIL score will give you. Not only so, this was all these years was a situation. Now, there is one more feature which is integrated with the help of AI. Probability of credit risk. Now it is not merely, suppose if A, B, C are the borrowers, it is not the A, B, C with the CIBIL score of 720, 730 and 480 with the interest rate accordingly. The probability of credit risk also is added. So I was just talking to that one London company's employee, and he told me this is how we detect, not only based on the CIBIL score, based on the other behavior of that individual. So how do you identify? So basically, they could be identify people, those who borrow from this platform, how are they using this money is also be identified. So very clearly, if it is used for productive purpose, for business purpose, or where a person is going to earn more, we give it as a very less credit risk. So just imagine how fintech revolution is also taking into consideration what is happening around. So there are many areas in commerce. Coming to another important thing, how we are redefining the management, which is a part of the team. So look at how traditional managers used to do. I gave you an example, either they are punch gut or they are experienced or MIS system or ERP system. So very clearly we used to collect the data, analyze the data, share the data and take the decision. Now what happens is, you did not do all this. AI is doing it for you. AI is also giving you insights. But you have to keep it in mind that, like, what is our intelligence? Our intelligence is where we solve problems, right? We process information, we adapt to environment. Somewhere or the other, AI may not be able to adapt to the environment exactly as we human beings. So what is our role? Our role is logic, right? And very clearly information and adaptation. Here comes the role of today's managers, those who are working in an ecosystem of AI. You have to interpret the AI insights. And why I am emphasizing on it, just imagine the big company like Deloitte had to pay a heavy penalty for wrong citation given to one of the government from where they had taken a project, and paying heavy penalty plus losing the face in front of the other government because the content were taken from AI, but they were not properly interpreted, they were not properly verified, they were not properly checked, they were not properly, errors were not removed. So again, I would like to highlight there is no harm in using artificial intelligence, but there is a big work which lies behind it. And that's the reason the PwC report says that the productivity increase is only by 1%, as some people say. But you ask CEOs of the company, they say they save 12 hours per week. Now there is a very conflicting outcome. Now, CEOs are saying that we are saving 12 hours. The workers are saying that the productivity has increased only by 1%. Because nowhere they are getting a relief out of the work, they are either involved in rectifying, removing error, interpreting or learning new AI tools. So if you go through a PwC report, it is very much based on what we are going to talk about or we are going to discuss about. Again, very clearly, in terms of quality, still PwC report says only 40% people believe that the quality is improved. Because the reliability still is a question mark in many cases. So if you look at it, more or less, it is a mix, because we are at the cusp where we have to take a call whether actually AI is going to be a boon or it is going to be a big challenge for us. So coming to your management, I told you today's managers need to look at AI quite differently. They have to interpret the AI insights, they have to remove the errors, they have to look at they have to get it validated and other things. Most important thing is making a lean, hybrid human AI work. See, whole idea of any business which we have studied in the management also is the cost effectiveness. That is the survival mantra since so many years. By challenge is not that by AI your organization will become lean. You are here with a challenge. Because the AI tools which you are going to use need to be replaced at a very fast rate. So the big investment which comes up with the AI tools to be upgraded or replaced has to also be considered while you are taking. But look at the managerial decision. Today we are in the world which is highly volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous, brittle, non-linear. In this type of world, we are taking decisions which need to be very agile. You have to take decisions because at the end of the day, even at the country level, if you look at it, the country's leaders, those who are indecisive, have failed. You need to be as a leadership role, very clear. What comes into the picture is a digital leadership. You have to take decisions, and the decisions today taken are what? They are agile, they are remote, and they are digital. So the leadership is taking a new role. Just as I was discussing it with the sir, it is not merely the data literacy which is coming into picture. Along with data literacy, you need to blend your core managerial skill, which is becoming a bigger challenge. See, data literacy is not at all, because all those who are using AI tools are very well aware of it. That all AI tools have a inbuilt tutorial in it. तो आपको classes लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. What you do is you just run the tutorial, you will come to know how to use the AI. So where is the gap? Where gap lies that how you are going to use your core managerial skills and integrate it with the AI. It's a bigger challenge. Now coming to your accounting, right? Look at it. So the other day I was just discussing it with the Kabir sir. I told sir on 1st April the Income Tax Act is going to be revamped. It's going to be altogether a new act. What lies ahead we are not aware of it. No doubt. Whatever is being proposed in the budget will continue for the year 26. But if you look at it with this new system coming into picture, what is happening? We don't know how it is going to be. Right? It is going to be a big change. Again, you need to realign your systems based on whatever is being done here. But what it helps in accounting is a real-time financial reporting. And imagine about the company who has an entire operations pan-India or a global. For them, this real-time financial reporting with deviations. I am adding one more thing. So very clearly, even your ERP used to do it. But what is here? Here it is also giving a deviation. So when your financial reporting on a real time is done with deviation, it helps manager to take corrective actions immediately, without any lag. Because all this year, those who are into economics, management and commerce, the problem of lag always survived, or had always existed. The time you detect the problem, the time you devise the strategy, the time you execute the strategy, and time you see the results, some other problem has come up. I think we all are aware of it. Today it's not so. You get a real-time financial reporting with the deviation. So very clear, it's a red flag for the company why there is a deviation. Identify, is there any leakage or is it there something else or is the competitor becoming more stronger than us? So this is also very important for us to understand. Now those who are into accounting, we all are aware of it that now it is becoming a mandatory for an ESG reporting. So many ESG reporting is environment, social and governance, which is must. And I personally feel it was quite delayed decision. It's a very good decision. Your AI can very clearly collect the data from social and see there are certain areas where the measuring is very a challenge. For example, if someone wants to talk about the measuring the environmental cost or an environmental externalities, positive or negative externalities, it was very difficult to calculate. But AI is capable of doing it. So very clearly what you are doing today, collecting data from environment, from governance, these are all abstract things, you know. And what happens, abstract things to be computed can be done with the AI. So this is the power of AI. So very clearly you will move from merely financial reporting to more of the strategic financial analyst role. Now there lies a very big challenge which again some sir highlighted is an ethical issues. So we have 5-6 major ethical issues and most importantly is data privacy. So I don't know, we have started creating awareness in our Raigad district on DPDP Act and DPDP Rule 2025. And I personally feel all the learned teachers, professors, you should do it at your college level. Now what is this DPDP Act? This was passed in 2023. It is very clearly digital personal data. Right? Now, when we talk about this Act, 2023 was introduced to see to it that people data is protected. We all are aware of it that you apply for a bank loan at one particular bank, by evening you get phone calls from 6 banks minimum. So very clearly it is evident there is no data security. You apply with A bank, B, C, D, E and immediately you get a call. Even if your insurance is due for renewal, immediately you get a phone call from so many. So somewhere or the other, if you look at it, there is a concern that your data is shared. Just imagine you are ordering it from Zomato and Swiggy, right? So by rule, once it is delivered, you have given a feedback. They are supposed to delete that data. It is only to be used for functional purpose, but which is not happening. So very clearly, government has come up with a very strong move, which was the Digital Personal Data Protection Act in 2020. But unfortunately, there was a bigger challenge in front of government. How to make it operational. And believe it or not, it has taken 2 years for them to come up with the rules, which is known as the DPDP Rules 2025, which was just now published. And by November 2027, it is mandatory for all the companies, those who are working on data, to follow these rules, failing which the fine varies from 50 crore rupees to 250 crore rupees. So by end of beginning or mid of 2027, you will not get a phone calls from any of the financial institutions. This is so how it will work. So there is a process, there are data fiduciary, there is a data owner, and there is a data processor. For example, if it is Ketan Meera, it is I'm the data owner. My data, my right. You'll be surprised. This goes back to our constitution, right to privacy. See, right to your life also has very much a sub-article where we talk about the right to privacy. So my data is my right. How can anyone use my data or know more about me than what I want to? So now there is a concept where they are going to use a bubble. So you place an order, you book a thing. Once the process is over, the data will get deleted. Data fiduciary are the people, those who are going to use your data. And see, again, it is outsourced. It is not merely done by the data fiduciary. The data processing is a third party. So your data actually is not shared only with the person from the organization where you are buying your goods and services. It is also shared with the data processor. So how it is going to be done? Government is going to come up with one entire app where you can give a selective rights. For example, today what happens, we tick mark, I do agree to terms and conditions and everything. You don't know what is written in that and we hardly read it. But now it is going to be in your control. I am ordering from Swiggy. If I put a tick that I want to stop sharing my data with Swiggy, it will get disappeared. So it's going to be a big change, which is going to see. Just imagine when we are talking about one big move. It's a very apt topic which your institution has taken, and I really appreciate because there is a lot of discussion which is going on at all the levels. It is at the business level, it is at the social level, it is at the legal level, it is at the cultural level. So we are exposed to so many different challenges from all the sides of our environment. And somewhere or the other, if you take the current example of DPDP Act, I personally feel that every college should create an awareness. So if you want, I'll share the PPTs of DPDP Act and also both the DPDP Act soft copy and the DPDP rules soft copy. Because one thing is like how it came to my mind. So many of my ex-students, they are working and we had a discussion. So I told them that I conducted one awareness workshop for DPDP Act because we are in the world surrounded by data and there are so many ethical issues. It was just a coincidence. It was just 2 days back we had 2 days training on DPDP. So companies have started doing it. And I think when our students will get into the industry, they need to know about it. Because if you fail to adhere to any of the norms, your company becomes liable to pay 50 crores to 250 crores, which is a big amount. So very clearly there are a lot of measures which are taken in terms of transparency and accountability, privacy. Even one of the things which has come up, algorithm biases. So very clearly you may be exposed to an information which may not be good for the society, but it is biased because you prefer watching a particular content, which can be very much, it's also a concern which has been brought down into the DPDP Act, and very clearly we can talk about becoming a responsible citizen, and that's the reason I personally feel that we need to focus more on the legal aspect also and create awareness for our students and for others as society as a large. Now what lies ahead? So we all are aware of it that AI literacy is mandatory. As once upon a time we spoke about computer literacy, we spoke about the data literacy. Today AI literacy is mandatory. It's a very much your survival mantra. If you don't know AI, understanding AI is very important. Believe it or not, why do shy away from AI? In fact, I remember when we were students, we were being taught programming. There's no programming required in AI. Learning is easy, awareness is easy, but using it rightfully is a challenge. However, it has to be blend with your critical thinking, with your ethical judgment. And one thing is very clear, whenever you are using AI, one big myth which people are having, which again I was discussing it with the technical chairperson, you need to have a prior knowledge to use AI. This is one thing which is biggest drawback. People feel that AI will give them, see, AI will never give up. AI says, I am always right. You ask me, I'll give you. Right? Second option, they will not say that we don't have a content. The type of, if you share some link, this link is not a proper readable as per our list and hence we cannot give out. AI hardly manta. AI is always right. Because it is designed according, and within AI we know that what is going on. We just saw that how OpenAI and Claude, both companies had a big challenge, and now all of a sudden all this is going out and a lot of new AI tools and companies are coming up. So AI will not give up. But what happened to Deloitte should not happen to us. In spite of the fact that AI is competent of generating the data, generating the reports, but is it having the utility which is required by your client? Prior knowledge. And one more thing which is becoming a bigger challenge. Let me tell you, more learned people can use, more well-read people, more people with a multidisciplinary knowledge will be a better user of AI. Because if I have to generate AI will give me a combination of everything. It will give me some legal thing, it will give me some cultural thing, it will give me some numerical thing, it will give me some technical thing. So very clearly, and that's the reason your new NDP is talking about a multidisciplinary approach. See, there's a rationale. So I have been listening a lot of people talking about NEP not being in sync. No doubt, we are facing a leading problem. I have no exclusion. But look at future. Future, you need to have an interdisciplinary knowledge. Then and then only you will be able to give proper prompts, generate proper report, edit it properly, understand it properly. So very clearly today when we look at it, the most valuable profession in future will be someone who can understand business, data, technology simultaneously. Data is new oil, right? But there's a big difference between the oil as a resource and a data. Oil depletes values. Data multiplies values. So this is where it's a right resource. So very clearly, artificial intelligence, don't be worried, will not eliminate human decision makers. In fact, it should augment the human intelligence. It should be supplementary to the human knowledge, right? So what it is required? As I started with my session, your data with insights, with decisions, with value can make your data really a big resource. So to conclude my talk, the future of commerce management and accounting will belong to those who can transform information into wisdom and technology into responsible progress. So I thank organizers of the conference and each and everyone for attentive listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. That was very enlightening and thought-provoking. Gratitude is best expressed through acknowledgement. As a token of our sincere appreciation for their favorable presence and guidance, we now present mementos to our esteemed dignitaries. May I request Shri Amok Prabhu Parikar sir to kindly present a memento to our chief guest and keynote speaker, Dr. Ketan Vidya. I also request our respected principal, Professor Santosh Patkar sir, to kindly present a memento to our presiding officer, Shri Amok Prabhu Parikar sir. Thank you. As we approach the conclusion of this inaugural session, it is time to express our sincere gratitude to all those who have contributed to the success of this event. I now invite Dr. Henry D'Souza, Accuracy Coordinator, to propose the vote of thanks.
Respected Chief Guest of this conference, the guest speaker, Treasurer Dr. Mr. Amok Parikar, our Principal Dr. Santosh Patkar, Vice Principal Smriti Ma'am, and the convener of today's international seminar, Dr. Gauri Shirulkar, and HOD Sasidius Gilway. On behalf of all those present here, I would like to extend my word of thanks to all those present here and have contributed to this immense exercise of organizing the international conference, because it is indeed a session where all of us gather to deliberate upon the topics of how commerce and artificial intelligence together finds a solution. As we know that artificial intelligence has contributed immensely towards the future, towards the present, and the future is almost in the hands of AI, as AI is contributing towards the future of our knowledge systems. On behalf of all of us present, I'd like to thank all of you for being here, and may the proceedings of this international seminar be with all good luck and good tidings. Thank you.
Thank you. With this, we come to the end of this inaugural ceremony of this conference. I express my sincere gratitude to all the dignitaries, participants, and organizers for their presence and contribution. I hope that the sessions will be able to be engaging, insightful, and intellectually rewarding for everyone. May I now request the dignitaries to kindly take their seats in the audience as we begin with the plenary sessions. I request Dr. Prerna Dhanwarkar, co-convener of the conference, to kindly take over.
Good morning, everyone. Coming up next is the plenary session, and we have a resource person from Dubai who will be joining us online, Dr. Fahad Zial Ain Usmani. I request all the participants to be seated and wait as the resource person joins us on the Google. Thank you.
It's okay, it's okay. They can see it.
Requesting the attention of all the participants. Please occupy your seats in the audience. We have the responsible person for the plenary session, Dr. Fahad Ayn Usmani, who has joined us from Dubai. And I'm privileged to introduce Dr. Fahad Ayn Usmani is a sustainability and operations research expert, currently serving as the program lead at the ACE Institute and the Social, Environmental and Economic Institute, Dubai. With vast teaching and academic experience in engineering and management discipline, his work focuses on operations research, supply chain optimization, sustainability systems, and AI-driven decision making. That makes him very apt, like Ketuviras, to go with the plenary session. Dr. Usmani has extensive experience in curriculum development and has contributed to the design of several professional diploma programs in sustainable water, waste, energy, and circular economy systems. His academic interests include sustainable supply chains, AI integration in resource management, and the role of technology in advancing circular economy strategy. He is also an active researcher and author with publications and academic contributions in sustainability education, AI-enabled systems, and operations management. Through his work at the ACE Institute, he collaborates with industry leaders, policymakers, and academicians to promote sustainable innovation and smart urban solutions. We are indeed privileged and happy to have you with us, sir, and we hope that this session will help us to gain insightful insights into the main theme of the conference. Welcome, sir. You can take over.
Thank you so much. I will start with the most commonly asked question on online platforms. Am I audible to everyone? And please let me know that I was with everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, so good morning, respected organizers, distinguished academicians, industry experts, and all participants. It is a privilege and an honor for me to be a part of this international conference, and I would like to thank the principal, Dr. Parker, the convener, Dr. Shirokar, and the organizing committee for this kind invitation. So today I'll be speaking on AI-driven decision making for sustainable business and supply chain transformation. As you all know, we are currently living in a time where decisions are no longer driven only by experience or intuition, right? But increasingly by data, algorithms, and intelligent systems. I hope you all will agree with me on this. And this shift is not just transforming businesses, it is redefining entire economic ecosystems, right? So I will begin with a simple question. How many of you have ever ordered something online and received it the very next day? Or even within a few hours, or even a few minutes like Blinkit these days, right? Think of it. You've ordered, right? And then you've received it. Now think about the experience. You click a button and within a short time, the product reaches your doorstep. Right? It's just a phone. You just opt into the cart, do the payment, and the product is coming to you. It feels so simple. Okay. But in reality, it is a highly complex system working behind the scenes. Right? Behind that one click lies a sophisticated AI-driven decision-making system. Artificial intelligence these days determines what products should be stocked, how much inventory should be maintained, inventory as in how much of that stock should be made, right? How the demand will fluctuate, and which routes should be used for delivery. All this is, determined intelligence issues. How? By analyzing historical data. Yes? There's a network there? Okay. No problem. Exactly. No. Okay. So what was that? Yeah. I was talking about the AI these days determines what products should be stocked, how much inventory should be maintained, how demand will fluctuate, and which routes the routes should be taken for delivery. Right? Artificial intelligence is determining all these things. How? It does that by analyzing the historical data, the real-time signals, and also the very important customer behavior patterns. It analyzes all these things. So what is important here is that AI is not just reacting to events, it is predicting them, right? This is what we call as predictive intelligence. And this is, fundamentally changing how decisions are being made in organizations these days, right? Excuse me just a second. Yeah. So, in traditional systems, the decision making was largely, as I said, reactive. How reactive? Organizations would analyze past data and make decisions accordingly. But today, AI enables predictive and also prescriptive decision making. Right? This means This means that organizations now can anticipate outcomes before they happen and take proactive actions. Right? So, for example, in finance, AI can forecast the risks involved, right? In marketing, it can predict the customer behavior. In operations, my field, it can optimize processes in real time, right? So, what is happening because of this? This is creating organizations that are not just efficient, but intelligent as well. Just a second. Excuse me for that. Yeah. Okay. And the next thing what I want to talk about is the supply chain management. One of the most powerful applications of AI is in supply chain management, right? That I was just talking about. Traditionally, I would say that the supply chains were fragmented, or you can say often inefficient. But today, artificial intelligence, AI, is transforming them into intelligent and interconnected systems. Right? How? We just discussed by improving the demand forecasting, by analyzing patterns, the trends, the seasonal trends, and the real-time data. It analyzes all those things for demand forecasting. Then it helps optimize inventory levels as we spoke of. It reduces both the shortages and the excess stock. Because of the demand forecasting, it can forecast that what product should be stocked and what product should not be stocked. It also improves the route planning, right? How? it is reducing the delivery time, and with that it is also increasing or reducing the fuel consumption, right? So basically, all of these things are making or evolving the supply chain into intelligent ecosystems. Okay. But these in today's world, modern world, we are also facing major global challenges, right? Such as climate change, resource scarcity, and environmental degradation. Businesses today are expected not only to generate profits, but also to operate responsibly. I'm not sure whether you all have heard about the agreement, but just to be, quickly, I would like to say that this is an agreement signed by many countries, around 160, I don't remember the exact number, but the countries. The agreement says that they have to be responsible in reducing the carbon footprint for their country. Right? What is carbon footprint? The emissions of carbon dioxide, basically, okay, which is also called as a greenhouse gas. Now, these greenhouses, they trap heat, and which is making our planet warmer. Right? Just 2 minutes I would like to take to all of this started when the Industrial Revolution came in the 1960s and 70s. At that time, the big motto or the main aim of the industry was only profit, right? In the Industrial Revolution, the industries were increasing and the production increased so much that the profits the companies were making were amazing, and this was going at that time in the countries like US and Europe. They didn't realize at that time that because of this Industrial Revolution, they are hurting our planet. How? By emitting the more and more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And as I said, that it is a greenhouse gas. The more the carbon dioxide, the Industrial Revolution, if you see the change in the climate was not much. But after that, the planet started to become warmer. And there everybody realized that we should not only the profit, but also the environment. The shift from profit to profit, planet and people. That is why we part of the sustainable city. We are the knowledge of the sustainable city. Just to want to know that the company is the diamond developers, are diamond developers, and we are the knowledge of the sustainable city. And I'm probably saying that we have been building sustainable internationally bigger. But Arab Emirates, we have a city here by Sharjah, one being constructed, one yet in Oman, and now we're working with and Australia as well. So why we are doing like this? Because sustainability is something which is not just a word. People used to think that it is a fancy word, but it is not a fancy word. It is the need of the hour. Coming back to our AI. So artificial intelligence, it can help reduce energy consumption, minimize waste, optimize logistics, and improve resource efficiency. Right? So different technologies, right? It will help us to how much energy are we consuming. How? What? Which means, sun, future, rating. And has all been given an answer. So, everything that that will please me. The down the logic. Responsible as well, along with being efficient. So, on this regard, I want to talk about the sustainable city here for 5 minutes about how we are using AI and, in the multiple things of the sustainability. So here we have a framework called FUMIAW, which stands for Food, Energy, Water, Mobility, Waste, and mobility and waste. Let me talk about waste here specifically. So here in the sustainable city, whatever we do, we have made an aim that everything should be sustainable. Like during the construction, also all the products that we used, we made sure that the products which emits the least carbon in the atmosphere, we were using those products. We have used those products. In all the houses here, we have solar panels for the energy. That means we are working on the renewable energy as well. We have a machine right now, just for the demonstration purpose, which is not on a big scale, but that machine traps the humidity in the atmosphere and it generates water from air. Every day it makes around 500 liters of water. So, and in the sustainable city, we have created our domes where we are farming them, not on a big scale. So basically, we are working on this framework, all the framework. We are trying to work, the sustainable city works as a team. All the people who live here, they are very right? I will talk about waste generation specifically as of now. We due to time constraint. The waste management, we call it sustainable waste management here in the sustainable city. All the waste that is generated by the residents of the sustainable city, first of all, the basic thing that they do is they segregate the waste. There are 4 different kinds of things, like paper, like in India, we also try to segregate the waste, like the wet waste and the dry waste. Yeah, just looking on that. But to say that, first of all, awareness is very much important. Whatever waste is generated, it is, so whatever can be reused is reused here in the city as well. The waste that is generated, that has to be engineered, we send it to our sister company, which is called the Green Waste Management LLC. And all the waste which goes there is processed there, which in turn is segregated there. Now, what we have done is, we are using technology in the bins. So when the bin is full, at that time the messages going to the Green Waste Management, so they come into that, the waste. So we are trying to optimize the routes, the time, the efficiency, right? And whatever waste goes to the bin, it is engineered there, and whatever can come back, it comes back, or else they are making products out of it and they are selling. So this order, the marine life is at risk because of two this plastic will one to the segregation. We are using AI, we are using C. That has to be used, right? So that is a little bit about sustainable city. Now, see, in your day-to-day life, like Amazon, Amazon uses AI to predict demand before orders are placed. What this does is this allows them to position inventory closer to customers. So because of AI, just predicting that because of the orders and the customer behavioral patterns, it forecasts that these products will be used by these people again, or maybe these group of people, and then the inventory is closer to the customers. So the delivery time is reduced and the logistics become more efficient, right? The DXL that is used, it uses AI for the optimization systems, right? Also, I can say that Siemens integrates AI and IoT in manufacturing, right? But as I'm talking about AI, and I'm saying nothing different, but AI comes with its challenges, right? And this transformation is not without challenges. And now, because the governments, like in Dubai, I will say that the government of the UAE will be mandating the emissions of the carbon, so whatever companies, the listed companies I'm talking about, the investors are becoming more and more passionate about sustainability. So the organizations are becoming more and more responsible with respect to their emissions of the carbon. So they are using AI, as I said, to monitor their carbon emission in the atmosphere. Also, I just had a topic in my mind, but I couldn't recall it. Anyway, let's go further. So, AI adoption basically not just requires technology, but responsible implementation. And looking ahead, the future of business will be defined by organizations that combine intelligence with sustainability. Okay, sustainability is a very important topic that should be there in each and every curriculum. That is what I feel, because the planet is dying, and the more we are using the industrial products and the industry, the more we are using the fossil fuels and not the renewable energy sources, the atmosphere is dying because of that. So responsibility is important, AI is important, AI and sustainability is a daily combination. So I would just like to say at the end that the future of business is not just digital, it is intelligent and sustainable, right? Artificial intelligence will not replace managers, but managers who use AI will replace those who do not. So, organizations that will integrate AI and sustainability will not only lead the markets, they will define the future of our planet. So I will stop here. I think the time factor is there. Anything you would like to ask anyone about sustainability? Very much happy to answer any questions. Sagar, can anyone ask any questions to me?
Anyone have anything to ask?
Okay, so I.
sir is wishing good morning.
Any questions? This is repeating sir's. Any questions if you are there? So on behalf of the Shivara Kapula College of Commerce and Management Studies, the Department of Commerce and the IQAC, I would really thank you, sir, for having joined us in this conference. And yes, as you rightly said, every development initiative comes with a cost. AI has its own challenges. Sustainability is something which needs to be looked into, whether it is profits which are related to the business and commerce sector, or whether it is the environmental impact of AI. So, in line with the theme of the conference, it was a very nice addition, I would say, of sustainability which was added from your part. So thank you so much on behalf of all of us here at Kapula College and the participants who were able to hear you. Thank you very much. Thank you participants for your patience listening, and our sincere apologies for that network. Sir has joined from Dubai, so I guess there are some network issues. So we will break now, and actually surprisingly we have finished ahead of time. So we'll have a short break of 10-15 minutes. You all can get to know where your sessions will be. Session 1 will be here, this hall. Session 2 will be SYBBA, which is on the same floor as you get outside if you go ahead. And session 3 will be downstairs in the conference hall. Okay? So you can go to your respective sessions. You can take a break maybe of 5 minutes and be present in your respective session. Those of you who have not submitted your PowerPoint presentation, please go to the hall and submit your PowerPoint presentation for these sessions as well as the afternoon sessions if you are in Northampton. Thank you.